Your client is entering an enclosed market of 400 MBA students, 70% of which are males. Your client is a single female. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, sure. So what are the client's overriding goals?
Well, number 2 is to be employed. Number 1, to be engaged. Your job is to help your client segment the market and achieve these goals.
I'd actually like to dive deeper into 3 basic areas. For starters, I think we should focus on looks, hair, makeup, and inability to handle alcohol.
Okay, so assuming that looks are on a level playing field, I'd like you to go into a little bit more depth about alcohol.
Well, as I understand it, there's a term called beer goggles, which actually occurs with increasing amounts of alcohol. This can help our client form partnerships, but, well, especially since the MBA student body is not really a model's playground.
Don't I know it?
Sorry, did you say something?
No, I agree with your analysis. Please continue.
Now, looking externally, I think the client should focus on market segmentation. And I propose that the client segment based on marital status, geography, post-MBA salary earning capability, and popularity. Beginning with marital status, I think the client should focus only on single, available partners.
Well, you know, market research has shown that this is not an inhibitor in partnerships within an MBA. After all, the MBA does stand for married but available. But for simplicity's sake, I'll agree that the client should initially focus on single, available partners. After all, this is LBS and not INSEAD. So let's continue with geography.
Well, in order to maintain consistency between our internal and external analysis, let's ensure that the client focuses on partner entities that are amenable to buying alcohol for the client. Unfortunately, this eliminates 50% of the potential partnerships.
Well, that helps the client hone in on eligible individuals, but let's move on to post-MBA salary.
Well, as I understand it, post-MBA jobs are split in these ways: finance, consulting, industry, and starting menu spring. While quality of life for a client may be important, it doesn't help achieve the Birking effect. So that eliminates industry. And there's the fact that no one knows what job the moniker industry represents. So moving on to consulting or finance. While the client will likely not achieve a high level of face time in either finance or consulting, bottles of champagne cannot be purchased for the client using Hilton or SPG points. Looks like that helps us narrow down to the group of finance-focused students.
So how about popularity? I'm not sure I really understand what you mean.
Well, in the increasingly social lifestyle that we lead, it is important to have partners that have many connections that they can count on. It is difficult to measure this, but I will be using club affiliations as a proxy for popularity. Using clubs as a proxy, we could eliminate anyone who are part of clubs that have a really small membership. For example, the cycling club. Being in Europe, members of the football club may seem like an interesting potential partners for our client. But then again, our client does not speak a word of Spanish, despite passing LBS Spanish level 2. That club is out. I believe that this leaves us with the LBS Rugby Club. Now, from what I hear, most members of this club seem to like to hang out with each other more than the members of the opposite sex. But this is an obstacle that is easily overcome with large quantities of alcohol. I propose that the client focuses on single, available, male from Western Europe or North America who is focused on finance careers and is a member of the LBS Male Rugby Club.
This seems like it would be a very small group.
That's okay, as this process is important to narrow down the results and help the client focus their efforts from the beginning of the MBA.
Well, I have to say you did really well on your case today. Thanks for your time.